They might be living at home with their mom, might not have so much money right now. They want to get into something quickly and just start making some money, pay some bills, etc. Maybe they can get into something quickly and then build their way up, right, and get other certifications as they're climbing. What do you think's something that a guy can get into fairly quickly and in the blue collar world?
Okay, that's a really good question as well. And one of the quickest things you can do is be willing to move anywhere the work is. If you can do that, let's just start with the list.
Okay.
A CDL, commercial driver's license, is the quick. You can get it done in less than a month.
Okay.
You can get your CDL and you can start driving now for decent money. Okay. That is the first step. The next step, it'd take you a few more months. You get a crane cert, and those guys get paid really well. Easy for them to pull in 60 to 70 grand right out the bat, and they don't have to do a ton of training. They just need to be certified and start making application at these crane companies.
Nice.
Okay. That are out there, such as Bragg Crane, Hill, all those sort of things. They're all online. You can find them. So that's one way. Another way is welding. You can get that in months, and you can become a certified welder and start becoming a fabricator. Another 50 to 80 grand right out the get-go. There's other ones. I just had a guy out to do a service on my heater and air conditioner. He was independent, worked for himself, and it's $185 an hour.
Wow.
So HVAC is a good one, and there's trade schools for that that'll get you in and out of there in 4 to 6 months.
Wow.
And now you could work for one of these HVAC companies right out the get-go. Mm-hmm. Now, plumbing, I am not familiar with plumbing because power linemen and electrical trades are allergic to plumbing.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
Mostly because of the rules of plumbing, which you guys know the 2 rules of plumbing, right?
Yeah.
Number 1 is shit rolls downhill. First rule of plumbing. You know the rule number 2 of plumbing?
What?
Don't bite your fingernails. Now you know why we're allergic to plumbing. But plumbers make even better money when they work for themselves. There is a plumber that has this mansion 7 miles from me that has a private lake.
Yeah, I believe it. And everyone thinks that plumbers are brokies. Bro, when we bring girls on this podcast and they shit on blue collar workers or plumbers or whatever, I'm like, you stupid bimbo, you don't know anything.
Yeah, they say I want that guy that works with waste management or plumbing. I want that guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, money. Yeah, they make quite a bit of money.
Well, Thor, just to be a devil's advocate here, you might not like plumbers, but guess what? The power's in your hands, not their hands.
I love this guy too, because when your shit gets backed up, plumber's golden.
Yeah.
But so he listed. Let's say you're a beginner, you want to make money right now.
CDL seems to be
CDL, crane operator. What else? You listed as well.
Yep.
HVAC, and a welder,
plumber too.
Yeah.
And all of these, it sounds to me, all of these certs you can get in less than 6 months.
It's pretty good.
Yes, sir.
All of them. Okay. And you said a CDL you can get. So let's start with the CDL first.
A month, bro.
Can you tell us what a CDL is, how you can get one, what the process is? I'm sure every state has different requirements.
Yeah. They do.
And what jobs are, what doors you open with the CDL? I know the most obvious one is like a truck driver, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
But what are, we can start with the CDL. Go ahead.
Sure. Commercial driver's license is going to be the base. And the only difference between the States and Canada right now is how they test for it. But they all are DOT regulated licenses, which means the Department of Transportation. So they all have to follow the same basic safety rules, inspections, and logging when they're driving. There's a lot around that revolves around safety. And that's what these CDL schools will teach you. So around $2,500 to $4,000, you can sign up for one of these CDL schools. And they also have job placement too. You really need to do that. You could take the tests on your own, but now who do you apply to, right? You could drive from anybody like a UPS, or you can drive for heavy equipment where you're actually delivering the heavy equipment. If you want to become a heavy equipment operator, the first thing you have to do is get a CDL. So a CDL is the basic license that you would need to get into the trades that require heavy equipment, large trucks, any sort of commercial vehicles that are larger than a pickup truck. You're going to need a CDL.
Okay.
And that's across the entire nation. And they do get paid much better than just your common laborer that doesn't have one.
Okay.
What if I have my own truck and I want to get into it? Would that help me get a job faster if I have my own truck?
Such as an 18-wheeler?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's owner operators make very good money, especially if they're willing to travel across country, because everybody wants to travel local. But I've known a couple of CDL guys that actually took out a loan, bought their own truck, and then found contracts, did their driving. Some of them would contract you like a UPS or Walmart. They still have owner operators, and they pay them a premium because they own their own truck and they carry their own insurance. And then I've seen those guys actually, rent their trucks out to another driver and then go buy another truck and then go buy another truck.
Wow.
So the sky's the limit if you want to get out there and grind,
So we don't want to hear for 2024, no excuses, because you can get a CDL, get a job right away. You can be either a plumber, you could be a linesman, you could be all these things. So
yeah, because
if you're broke, it's your choice.
Yeah, because there's other thing too. Because people get mad. Oh, you guys bring scammers on that. Teach us about being entrepreneurs and gurus. That's fine. You like I told y'all before. Not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. And I've said this many times. There's nothing wrong with having a job. I think the blue collar world is a great world. I mean, that's the world I came from being in law enforcement. And you can make quite a bit of money doing it. It's just that there tends to be this negative stigma that you can't be very successful doing it. And the reality is a lot of you guys aren't cut out to be entrepreneurs. A lot of you guys aren't going to be influencers. And this is a fantastic field to go into to make a good amount of money. And then if you decide down the road you want to pivot and become an entrepreneur like Thor did, like I did, etc., you'll have the ability to do so because you have some capital behind your goddamn name and you can start off correctly in your entrepreneurial ventures. Thor, so we talked about the CDL. So you can get one for somewhere between, you said $25,000 to $4,000?
Yes. Yeah, you can get through the school and they'll guarantee you pass. Yep.
Okay. And not only that, you said job placement as well.
That's correct. Some of the schools offer job placement.
Wow. So that's fantastic. So we're talking, you save up $25,000 to $4,000, $2,500 to $4,000. You save that money. Mm-hmm. You go take the CDL, and then you can go ahead and land a job. What is this? What are some of these jobs that they might land you with placement?
You can get a local freight is one that's pretty popular. There's more and more of this supply chain stuff going on. That would be really easy. Mm-hmm. You could go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you could get a delivery driver because they're going to give you a forklift certification. You guys seen those trucks that are delivering bricks that have the forklift strapped on the back? Yeah. Well, guess what? You need a CDL and that gets your foot in the door. And there you go. You can drive local and probably work normal shift hours. Probably won't be as much money, but you can start doing that. So that's a really, really quick way. And it's probably the fastest way to get into the trades. But really what you would do is just type in, commercial driver's license school in my area in Google, and there's going to be a ton of them pop up. Same if you want to do crane work, you type in the National Crane Organization certification schools near me. As far as lineman jobs, type in a line college, power lineman colleges near me or nationwide. You know that I have statistics here. Every year I get these statistics, and it's estimated there'll be 21,500 lineman job openings in 2024 alone.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Thor. And I guess this could be good for our audience, right? Has there been a drop in people working these jobs there? And I always hear about people saying, we can't find employees, we can't find people that want to do this type of work. There's quite a bit of demand for these jobs, whether it's a plumber, HVAC, etc. With the explosion of people of going to college and wanting to be influencers and all this other bullshit and trying to make money online, people don't want to go ahead and do these blue collar jobs anymore. So has there been a mass opening in these jobs, and is this a good time to get in now?
So I would think there is, but I don't know for sure. I can only speak to where I was involved with the power lineman. It's a little different. Since the money is so well, the demand is high. The problem is the working conditions are harsh. The schooling is required, and there is a physical test for becoming a power lineman and just entry level. There's physical requirements. You can't be too overweight. You have to be able to climb a 70-foot pole within a certain time limit.
Sorry, Mo.
There is things you have to do, and then that just starts the apprenticeship. And the apprenticeship has tests, physical tests, and educational tests throughout it. You're only allowed so many strikes. So there is about a 25% failure rate.
Okay.
And the guys leave the trade. So that's where we lose a lot of guys. And then once the guys become journeymen, they stick around until retirement because it's a great job. So with most of us being over 55 years old, the openings are going to open up in a tremendous way. They already are right now. That's why we're seeing 21,500 lineman openings this year alone. So the opportunities there, how many guys are going to come in for those? I'm not really sure that we've seen a real bad drop because the money's really good, but we do see a lot of guys dropping out. They just can't cut it. It's too hard. I don't get to play video games because I'm working on the weekend, things like that. They don't like the extra hours.
Yeah.
But that's good because those guys get weeded out. You don't want them on the line anyway, because you never know. They might need to give you CPR. And so you want a guy that's willing to go all the way.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned first responders, law enforcement.
Yeah.
It's another great trade. And I don't know if you realize, but when we work hand in hand with law enforcement and with firemen and first responders, we're considered here in California first responders as well. Power line down, first people on there are firemen or police. Sometimes we have to remove power from certain establishments that might be cartel run. So we do work with them pretty regular.
Okay.
Real quick, Thor. So this may be an underrated trade, but back in Barbados, I've seen people come from nothing, buy a lawnmower, a weed whacker, buy some gas, and they cut lawn, basically landscaping.
Okay.
How profitable is that, you would think,
landscape
for most people?
Okay.
Because I think it's an easy entry level to get into as a trade.
Yep.
You could do it yourself. But how is that profitable, you would say, for yourself from what you've seen, landscaping?
Out here, it's tremendous. There's a ton of opportunity if you want to do landscaping, particularly maintenance and construction. Here in California, nearly everywhere you go is HOAs, and they have requirements for landscaping. Somebody's got to maintain it. Somebody's got to build it.
Yeah.
And this is nearly everywhere in California. Those regulations have to be met. So that's really interesting. You say landscaping because there's a lot of them here, and you need to understand not only how to do your job, but traffic control, permits, all that stuff. So they get paid pretty well. They really do out here in California. So that's a brilliant insight, actually. You can start with almost nothing right there. Just a willingness to go and work.
And the good part is you could be illegal immigrant, still get a job. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, you guys know that even here in California, you can still be an immigrant and get a CDL.
Really?
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
In California, I believe it. You can get a driver's license in certain states without being New York, California, these blue states, you can, For all you illegal dudes watching the show, man, that's where you want to be. You want to be in California or New York.
All
you
my
get a
niggas,
driver's license.
My niggas, go to California.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
God.
What was that, Thor?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do that.
I'll tell you this, man. You go by Home Depot. Let's say you're the owner. Pick up some Mexicans. You're well on your way, brother. Just say.
Okay, so we talked about certifications, right? Crane operator, CDL, a bunch of these certifications people can get in less than 6 months. So for all the guys out there, we're talking $2,500 to $4,000. You can go ahead and get yourself a CDL, and they'll give you job placement, and then bam, you pretty much land a job where you're earning anywhere between what, $40,000 to $80,000, depending on what you end up doing.
That's correct. That would be correct. I mean, if you jump in and you're a carpenter assistant, it might be on that lower end, around 40 or the average. But you become an apprentice and you get into finished carpentry, particularly if you're willing to travel on these construction sites, these massive ones that they're doing. Yeah, you can start to see upwards of 100K easily.
Okay.
And you could probably do all of that within a year if you're a hustler.
Look, Thor.
Wow.
I want to work smart, not hard. I want the easiest trade possible to make money, work overtime, and get out. What trade is that, you would say?
First of all, I don't have that philosophy to work smarter than work harder. I think it's bullshit that we've been fed. You know, it's nice to work smart, but the reality is, and you know this is true, you have to work fucking hard. And we've forgotten that in this nation. We need to be able to get up early and work and stay late and work. And, you know, the work smarter is after you made the money and you invest it, and now your money is working for you. That's really the way to do it.
Yeah.
But until then, if you're just a guy that's leveling up, you're going to have to make that money. So the harder you work, the more competitive you are, and the better off you'll be. You know, discipline equals freedom. So you have the discipline to actually work hard. I think that's the way to go. Now, I've been in corporate America too. Yeah, work smarter and not harder. I would say work efficiently, you know, not inefficiently. But as far as hard work, I have never seen a guy fail working hard. You know, it's when they do dumb things over and over That's the dumb part about working. You know, if you're in a job where it's repetitive and you're not making any, go get another one. That's working smarter, you know.
Yeah, because the excuse is
it's a philosophic difference. You know, I don't like that saying because I want guys to actually, you know, put their best effort forth because they'll see rewards far quicker if they work hard.
Because people say all the time, I want to work smart in trades, but all my friends that do trades, they work really hard.
Yeah.
But they work overtime, stack the money, then they invest it after the facts. So working smart, this comes after the fact, like you said before. Really good point.
Yeah.
Okay,
so work smart comes later. You guys are doing it. You understand that philosophy now, probably more intimately than most people, because what we see with you guys too is all the glitz, and it isn't all the glitz, is it?
It's a struggle, man.
Yeah,
they don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, like, hell, on Friday, like, after we did our show, right, we went out and for like almost 2 hours and just like trying to figure out how to, you know, do the IRL streaming thing, like, you know, but we had to go out there and like test it out at 5 a.m. after doing 3 other shows. So it's like, or 2 other shows. But let me ask you this, Thor. So, okay, so it seems like the CDL seems to be like the kind of the springboard into this world.